Hi everyone, welcome to another Web3 workshop by 45B. Let's crack on. We have two guests standing by to join us. Owen, welcome. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Lucas. Thank you for the session.
Cheers. Thanks for joining. I was just sending out some last-minute invites, and it's great to see you guys joining here. Aomi, welcome.
Yes, thank you, Lucas. It's good to be here again.
Great. I think your Oyomi for now has a high score in being in more sessions, and it's great to see people coming back. So yeah, the goal of these calls is to get more learners for our Web3 workshops. We've covered some concepts already, but we're going to continue to dive in and do these weekly check-ins to see if you guys have any questions that we can triage and put in our radar. Apart from that, we're going to continue exploring as well live here. But yeah, I just wanted to already start touting that we are waiting for more people to go to 45b.io/web3 and sign up to our series of workshops. So this is going to be following up to these stage 1 sessions where we're mostly just experimenting what Web3 can do and learning some basic concepts. On the next stages, we're going to understand a bit more like the building blocks, the moving pieces, and if you stick around for a bit longer, we are actually going to understand a bit more about how automations work within Web3, how you can automate like a borrow loan, or what we love more, which is real world use cases. So to be able to have digital books or something like that and include them in your business model. Guys, like I was saying, you've been in a number of calls already. I was, maybe let's just mention here. This is the landing page, Web3, 45b.io/Web3. There's a small teaser here, and there's a form that you can fill in to join us a bit more formally throughout these, I think, up to 30 sessions, one or twice a week as you're available as well. And then I also wanted to mention, we have a new calendar here on Luma. So it's really just this small short URL, and you can subscribe to it. You'll see a button somewhere here that I'm not seeing because I'm an administrator. And from here, you'll see the events and get notifications. This is today's event, which, by the way, is being streamed to Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. If you're seeing us there, come join us for hands-on experimentation of Web3, or share with any friends. That's one of the reasons we're streaming to X, because we know a lot of people on X already know what Web3 is, but maybe if you have been meaning to refer this to a non-technical, non-builder, non-interested in DeFi friend that wants to know about Web3 mostly, this is the place to refer him to, okay? There's also a playlist on YouTube that's being mentioned on the description of the event here. And you can catch up with previous sessions. I need to upload a few more. Okay. Any questions on this, guys? Or can I just crack on to more content?
It's all good. We can move on.
Okay. Great. So on the first call, we covered a bit what's the difference between Web3 and crypto, or even DeFi, for example. I have it represented here as decentralized exchanges. On the following calls, we delved a bit further into what's the difference between Cardano and Bitcoin. Like I pointed out, we see Bitcoin mostly as just sound money, and we wouldn't want to have much of Web3 interactions happening on Bitcoin. We prefer to do it on the Cardano side. And also, we don't see ADA so much as money, but although it is a finite digital asset, we see it especially as a governance token for the network state that is Cardano. Not sure if you guys want to jump in on any of those questions, if you have any opinions or any more, anything to add, please jump in anytime. Okay, we don't have hands to raise here, like in Google Meets, so just jump in. Then, yeah, on the third session, we covered a bit more the origins of money. We have here like the functions of money, the properties of money, and we explained how Bitcoin, to start with, as a digital asset, was sort of like a spontaneous and inevitable, let's say, thing that would happen once we start having the internet. So eventually, the world, after having internet, invented a new kind of money, which is Bitcoin, and then adding extensibility and programmability with the technologies of Cardano that we're using and many others. We have this thing that we call Web3, which is like number of digital assets going back and forth. And it contrasts a lot with the Web2 in the sense that in Web2, a lot of things are centralized, and the content that you're loading into these platforms is owned by them. And with these new platforms and new technologies, you can own the content. You can be, participating in a network that's a lot more decentralized and healthy than those Web2 business models. So, arriving at today, we have, like I said, a few links that I wanted to share with you guys. I was inviting Owen to come to the board, sharing the Miro link. We're going to have a lot more of that in future calls. And I think, yeah, by the way, Owen, you have this short link, which is easier to remember. It's just Web3, 45b.io/Web3. If you add the Miro letters there, you'll come to the Miro board anytime. Make sense?
Yeah, noted. Thank you.
Okay, so I had this section here, and we were hoping that we get participation from some more friends and partners. Manuel is a previous learner. He's going to come eventually and talk with us about Reeve, which is a tool he learned in the Portuguese cohort. Newman is from Gimbalaz. We've met him since our first call. Jethro was there as well, and I'm just going to move them down to future calls. Maybe I'll keep inviting, and maybe they can join in future calls. So today we have Aomi connecting from Lagos, Nigeria, and we have Owen from Nairobi, Kenya. Guys, do you want to maybe we could spend a couple of minutes just understanding a bit more, even for Aomi, who's been in most of the calls. I don't know that much about you. Could you just give us a bit more about your feedback or your background? Aomi, I was asking for your background in terms of like what you've been doing in Cardano for how many years. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So you were actually in Cardano already for a while, right?
Yes, just I joined 2024,
Okay.
but I got active last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And what you mean with active is that you're actually currently facilitating calls, and can you tell us a bit about that?
oh, okay. So in 2024, when I joined Cardano, I just joined, like I was not doing anything. It was 2024 that I heard the name Cardano, and it was that same year that I uh got to know about blockchain. I've never heard of that word before. So
Mm-hmm.
it was actually through Cardano that I begin to understand the concept of blockchain technology, things like that. So last year, I was so curious and I wanted to like know more. I wanted to like really get involved in what is going on in Cardano, what is, all of these things. So I attended several, no, in 2024, I actually attended several Cardano events in Lagos. And then
Mm-hmm.
in 2025, last year, I was I was able to like co-lead some Cardano events in Lagos. And um I started to like host X spaces so I can like connect with people, meet people that I also knew, and learn more, get myself involved, this and that. And also in the aspect of governance, I wanted to know more about governance, on-chain governance, things like that. I had to like I had to like register myself as a G rep just to like really get myself involved in what is going on, things like that. Yeah, and I've been loving the experience and it's amazing. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds. I can relate to that as a lot. I started with Gimbal Labs 2022, and first events that we met live is like really cool because we've been collaborating online for so long. So yeah. Okay. Do you want to just touch very briefly on what you're doing in terms of hosting calls currently?
Okay.
It's
Every
what do you call it?
Cardano newcomers support X space.
Okay.
Yeah. So every Thursday, 8 p.m. UTC, I
Mm-hmm.
host Cardano space, basically for newcomers and also to like connect with um OGs in the ecosystem as well. I host it on my personal X account at
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Ayomi. Um,
Okay.
and I also I started hosting project showcase, Cardano project showcase in February. That was last month, where I spotlight Cardano projects so people can know more about all of these projects, what they do, and the opportunities available in this
I think I lost you. Yeah. Let's just allow a few moments for Aomi to return. And meanwhile, I'm just checking if I have Aomi's correct um, X account. Oh, and you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, I was checking
Am I
here that it
working?
wasn't. Yes, you rugged for quite a bit, quite a while,
Okay.
quite a little while.
Am I working?
But now I hear you.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, Aomi is having connection issues. That's what we usually call them. We usually say that Aomi is rugging. It has to do with rug pulls and Web3. They're unfortunately common. Aomi, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my network got disconnected.
Okay. I'm just dropping your X account here for
Okay.
anyone that's watching us to follow you. I'm not doing a great job with the layout, but I'll fix it in a second. Could
Thank you.
you go back to just we lost you a bit there. You were saying that the goal of calls is to help to welcome newcomers, and I'm not sure exactly what more that you want to add.
Oh,
Oh, you mentioned the
okay.
showcases as well, like project
Oh,
showcases.
okay. Okay. So yeah, I every month I I showcase Cardano projects. Actually, I
Hmm.
just started that. I started that in February. Where I hosted Gimba Labs in February, and this month, this is March. I've had a session with Ada Link already. So
Hmm.
next month, I'm looking forward to having WADA. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
project showcase is every month, once in a month, while the Cardano X space is weekly, every Thursday, 8 p.m.
Okay.
UTC. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Um, Let me know, maybe asynchronously, where I can just subscribe or something, because I know about these, but I'm not sure exactly when. Do you do these, like in the week or in the hour?
Yeah, that's for the
It varies.
monthly. Yeah, it varies. Yeah. So I
Okay.
just post about it on my account. Yeah.
Follow Aomi and you'll know if you keep an eye out. Okay.
Thank you.
We're great stuff. Happy to showcase your work because I think it's a nice contribution to the ecosystem.
Thank
Owen,
you.
I'm not sure if you want to mention as well a bit of how you've been relating with Cardano.
Okay. Mm, so first of all, I'm staying in Britain, Nairobi, Kenya. It's
Hmm.
Kenya, Kenya.
Ah,
Correction.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So actually, I got into the space early 2019, but I came in through Bitcoin. Coming from a place that most of our systems tend to fail us. I came to learn about Bitcoin as sound money, why we should have it, why it exists in the first place, and I love the technology. So I fell in love with Bitcoin at first. Then with Cardano, I interacted with Cardano on the financial part, ADA. Never really knew there's a whole ecosystem behind it. So actually, around last year, I started seeing a lot of the big names in the space coming into Kenya, trying to nurture talent, driving adoption on the ground. But then I had an issue with how the campaigns were being driven. So for Cardano, I came in through the intersect calls, and I
mhm.
guess that's where we met with you, Lucas, where you directed me to 45B since I had that interest in adoption through grassroots education. So you directed me to 45B, and it aligned with what I was willing to work on or work with to support the broader vision for the ecosystem. So since then, I've been active on the intersect calls on the 45B, mostly the Gov calls that we usually have on Mondays. Um, so I can say for Cardano, I've been most active this year. I actually started an initiative which is focused on students mostly. It is called C4 Cardano. I don't know if you come across it somewhere. C4 Cardano.
I'm
Where I
I'm looking
focus
it up.
most, yeah, where I focus mostly on explaining simple, complex Cardano terms to the community back here in Kenya for people to understand fast. So I try to build a pipeline around the adoption where I go from awareness first, then education, then get a group together. Actually, I run a blockchain club at my local university where we focus on Bitcoin and Cardano. And even now, we've ventured into the new technology released by IOG Midnight. So I can say I'm working around those three. Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, you're gonna have access to this board if you don't have already edit access. And I'm gonna ask you to enrich this part a bit. I'm just gonna add here the midnight as well. That's what you just mentioned, right?
Yeah. Part of midnight, the elite and the night first program.
Okay. And I've also found your profile here. I'm just gonna follow you back. Probably I wasn't sure who was behind this. So you're, yeah, you're creating some stuff. You're sharing our calls. These are our governance calls that we host every Monday. Thanks for mentioning those. And what else?
Yeah, so actually, mostly the C4 initiative, it's mostly active on YouTube, where I try to make explainer videos for Cardano concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where we've measured mostly
Oh,
under.
is this you on the picture? On
Yeah, on the right, that was the Cardano Africa Tech Summit, where we had volunteered
okay,
for support the technical and the breakout rooms. So that's me on the left, and that's my fellow Cardanian on the right. Yeah,
Cardanian.
yeah.
Okay, great stuff. I'm gonna save this for to add to my favorites. Then maybe I'll retweet it as 45p. It's good to get to know you a bit better in this because we've been crossing in so many calls. So yeah, great to have you guys here. I hope you can make it through the a number of calls that we are going to continue to have for the Web3 part. And so yeah, I'm very happy as well to hear that you started with Bitcoin, because there is a Bitcoin side to what we do here, and whether it's by introducing people to digital assets, saying, you know, initially there was just Bitcoin, and also day to day, I still use like on-chain wallets for Bitcoin, Lightning wallets, Nostr, and other technologies that are orbiting Bitcoin. So it's really good to have someone else to align on that part. So we're a bit like way through our call already. I think we are going to probably just skip the install Vesper on pre-production, because probably you guys have done it already. And I would prefer to wait for more learners to come in so that we can do it with some learners that are really doing it first time. And for next like 5 minutes, just to close, I wanted to invite you to explore and prioritize Web3 apps or dApps that you want to try out. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this one all the way down here for next session. And so to this effect here, like I said, I'm gonna zoom out, and we've had previous cohort that went very long with a number of calls. We had some guests, we did a lot of stuff in Portuguese. And currently we're hopping back and forth between this English cohort and another Portuguese cohort. So between these two regions in the Miro board, you'll find this, which I'm trying to have be a common area that is in English, but that both of your cohorts are contributing to. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with all of these. We're going to go over them. They're all directories of projects on Cardano. And I would invite you to now or asynchronously between the two calls, between this and the next call, to explore a bit further. For example, this one is a bit different than the others because it's case studies, not necessarily listing of apps with links to the apps. But as you explore this, I would challenge you to drop some things here, some sticky notes with just the name of the app or anything that is more practical to you. And also, one thing that we did was look at the wallets. I'm gonna show you what we did to start by taking a peek at the Portuguese cohort, but I want to check, is this making sense to you? So is it a good idea? Guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure if Aomi is on board with us, but yeah, I'm gonna move on. Just like out of curiosity, and I'm not going to be showing you much of the Portuguese side, but we've covered a number of things. One of the learners was mentioning Bitcoin DeFi on Cardano. I'm not sure if you guys ever want to add that on our side as well. Be my guest. And in terms of wallets, we focused mostly on these. So I'm going to sort of copy this across, and we can cover it very quickly on today's call, just as a challenge, or as inviting you to explore different Cardano wallets if you haven't tried some of these. Okay, so this part, the blue part, should be okay because it's just the names, and the other part in orange is in Portuguese, so I'm gonna translate it. So the Eternal is the most generic wallet that I can think of on Cardano, and it's quite deep technically if you want to explore the technical like IDs and hashes and all that. Begin is something that I usually mention as user friendly. Sorry. And then we have Vesper is also the one that we are actually partnering with and referring to people on events. There's Tokeo. Both of these also are planning to make Bitcoin available. I'm not sure if Tokeo already does. Game Changer is a different one, and they are enabling us to do scripts and like, let's say, macros, if you remember what we used to call them in Excel, so automated functions. I'm going to add it here. Functionalities. As I said before, guys, if there's anything that's new to you that you want to mention or to jump in on, don't wait for me to move on, okay?
Yeah.
One thing that I also like to point out about Game Changer is that you can mint tokens on it. You can mint tokens, whether they're fungible or non-fungible. That should be something that I really encourage you to try. And we're probably going to try it in our sessions. If not in stage 1, surely in stage 2. We have some 45B tokens on pre-production network to send you already. For Lace, we questioned in the Portuguese cohort if it also allows to mint tokens. So I'm just going to do this and add a question mark. And then what do we have? We have, Eternal also allows you to manage multiple wallets. And
okay, Lucas, I'm a bit familiar with Eternal and Vespa and Less. So I wanted to ask,
what was the first one you said? Sorry?
You mentioned it. Eternal.
Eternal. Yes. Mm-hmm. You're not so familiar with Begin, is that it?
So I wanted to ask you, since I have heard you mentioned it as a user-friendly wallet, is it a light wallet the same as Yoroi?
Lace wallet is the same as Yoroi, you're asking?
No, I'm asking about Begin.
Okay.
Since you've said it is a user-friendly wallet.
I think the right answer in this context, since we're here to try, is that we take it for a spin. So I'm going to flag it here so that on the next session, we can have it on screen, take it for a spin. If you don't do it between then, I'm very happy to do it. That's what we're here for. Okay. but overall, it's user friendly. That's what I can say for now. I can't really compare it directly with others because there's so much overlap. These two, for example, are very similar. Yeah, I think maybe I would compare them a bit with these three a bit, but because they're all aiming for user friendliness. Okay, does that help
Okay,
clarify a bit?
yeah.
Okay, so this small exercise that we did here with the wallets helped us explain. Sometimes I think in Portuguese. By the way, that was why I spelled Kenya the way I did, because I was writing it the way Portuguese people write it, without the Y, with an I instead of Y. So now that we've spread out all of this here, we can have some sort of priorities of things to try. And what I wanted to challenge you to do is do the same for other apps that you find around here, and drop some sticky notes here with the names of those apps that you want to prioritize trying. Can we agree to do that before the next call on Myro?
Yeah, that we can do that.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to invite you to join our Discord as well, or Telegram or WhatsApp or anything. You have links.45b.io, which is our link tree. It's a bit messy. We're probably going to redesign this whole thing, but if you scroll down, you'll see here a socials area with our social networks, and then chats and updates where you can join Discord, Telegram, or WhatsApp. Okay, so that way, if you're missing a link or if you need approval to edit the Miro board or something like that, you can always reach me. I think that's a good place to end our session today. If you don't have any more suggestions or topics that you want to leave on the board for next time. Aomi, all good?
Yeah, all good. But I wanted to ask, did you talk about Tokyo? I wanted to ask what Tokyo is for. I didn't get that part.
Tokyo, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's basically a wallet, as far as I know, and they have a user experience that's similar to Vesper, but they are already out there with the Bitcoin compatibility. I see Sui here, which is another blockchain, and yeah. But what we were mentioning is basically I was spreading out ideas for wallets that you may want to experiment with. On the next session, or as soon as we have more learners that are first timers on Cardano, we're going to install a Vesper wallet live on the call here, turn it to pre-production, and exchange some tokens. Okay?
Yeah, that works. So for the Miro board, you've granted us the permissions already, right?
I will do it as soon as we end the call, because I don't want to be juggling all the windows here, but I'll let you know in DMs as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much for being here, for sharing your questions and your background, which was really interesting. I think it was the first kind of interviewing people on Cardano that I did, and it's really great to see the diversity of stuff that you guys are up to. To anyone watching us, the links are on the screen. Share it with friends, share it with anyone that you want to share Web3 with. We'll be happy to welcome them and take them through some hands-on experimentation. Okay? Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye, Lucas.
Bye, Lucas.
Bye.
Thanks for facilitating.
Cheers. Thank you.